Hey guys, this video is about active listening. This is one of my super weapons, and any person that can close at a higher level, they've got great listening skills and they know how to actively listen. So I'm going to be sharing with you this principle of active listening and how you can actually implement it in your sales conversations so that you are listening twice, speaking less, and you're actually understanding the person and you're listening very closely for the language patterns that they're saying and really building close rapport and understanding the energy and where they're at in the process and how to guide them. So I'm going to give you some of the main fundamentals of active listening. And the main sort of concept behind it is that active listening is to be fully focused and present on what is said, listening closely to language, details, and understanding where the person is coming from. So having that empathy, putting yourself in their shoes and actually listening to understand versus listening to speak. So you're very present. You don't have distractions around you. You're literally zoned in on that call. You're listening in detail to their vision, to their goals, to every single word that they say, because you're an expert in your field and you actually care about this person, because most people don't listen close enough, and it turns people off and it burns sales because you miss information. And you might miss one piece of information because you're not focusing on what the person's saying that can actually ruin the call for yourself. So I'm a really great listener when I'm closing, and I listen to people and I let them speak and I let them get it out. Because the truth is, most people just want to be heard. So like I said before, great closers can put themselves in the other person's shoes and see things from their perspective by understanding where the person is coming from. The people want to be heard and understood. So listen closely, hear the person out, let them get it out, even if it's a story or anything like that. Let them get it out. It makes them feel good and it makes them feel like that you're listening and that they can trust you. Listen twice, speak less. Too many sales are burnt by not listening and too much talking too much and overselling. So you can burn a sale by saying too much, by saying the wrong things, by over talking. So you want to have the doctor's mindset where you're listening and you're asking questions and you're discovering what you need to discover so that you can position yourself strong in the call. This is really important. Communication is a response it gets. Listen actively and adjust. You have responsibility as the communicator. So if you communicate a message to someone, whether it's in a sales call, your life or business, and it doesn't get the response you want, they get triggered or they get frustrated or you come across too strong or hard, you have responsibility as the communicator because you're communicating that message. So when you're communicating in a sales conversation, you could break rapport with someone. You could disempower them or say the wrong thing that misaligns with them. You have to listen very closely and make sure that the words that you're saying are like music to their ears, and that you're listening closely and you're gauging through your listening, through the energy on the call, through their responses to your questions, that they're invested, that they're engaged in the process, and that they're in rapport and in sync with you and in flow with what you're doing. And that's an art form in itself by having that sensory acuity and emotional intelligence on your calls. But it starts by listening closely. People don't listen enough. They don't listen to what people are saying. They don't listen to the language. Then lastly, we want to be taking notes on the details of where they are now, on their goals, on their energy type in the DISC personality and profile, on their values, on their why, on any special requests, on what the person wants. So we want to show them that you are world class. You are an expert in your field, and you can actually feedback, which is a huge influence skill, information that they've said in their words and in their language, which shows that you're not on a script and you're listening very closely, because you can say their vision in detail and summarize and feedback what they've just said. And they're like, this guy's listening. He's world class. And I had this woman one day say to me, Kruze, I want to work with you because I noticed I was asking you questions that were just off the cuff and off the fly, and you were able to respond. And I could tell that you weren't robotic, and I could tell that you weren't on a script. I could tell that you actually cared because I was listening to what she said. I wasn't focusing on a script. I was being myself and I was answering and responding to the questions she was saying. This is the key, guys. We need to be listening twice, speaking less. Listen closely to what they're saying, to their goals, and be taking detailed notes. As an expert in your field, the person you're becoming, a six-figure closer, you need to be doing this stuff. This is the stuff that I'm doing in Active Campaign CRM, or I have a notepad where I'm writing stuff down as they speak, because it makes you actively engage in the call and listen to what the person has to say. Awesome, guys. This was the concept of active listening. Make sure we're applying it not only in sales, but in your life as well, and being present with people and giving them all of yourself and your energy when you're